as well. Burrs. And we're going to go through a lot of topics pretty quick, so hold on to your hats here. Burrs, carbide burrs especially. The first thing I want you to do when you go back to your offices is go to the carbide burr blocks, and if we have some team members, which we do in this room, go to your carbide burr block and throw it away. Why is that? Because I know every burr in there has been used too many times. What's the research on carbide burrs? The first time you use it, it loses 50% of its efficiency. Second time, you autoclave it, loses another 10%. You use it the second time, it's dull. Third time, you might as well be using a jackhammer, right? I mean, a dull carbide burr creates two very bad things. What are they? First one is what? Heat. Heat is your enemy as a restorative dentist. And I'll give you a patient, and people, well, how does that really affect me? It directly affects patient satisfaction. I'll prove it to you. You've all had this case in your office. If you're in dentistry for a week, you've all had this case in the office. Mrs. Jones comes in. She has a ugly amalgam filling on tooth number 19. Right? You say, Mrs. Jones, come on, that doesn't look so good. Let's take that out. Let's put in a tooth-colored restoration. She's not sure she wants to do it, but okay, she says okay. She comes in. You don't even think you have to get her numb. It's so shallow, right? You don't even think you have to get her numb, but okay, you get her numb, you take it out, etch, bond, put the composite in. She goes home. She calls you a week later. She says, hey, doc, you know that filling you put in? Yeah. It what? Hurts. Oh, you've heard this before, right? Yeah, you've heard this before. And there's a little dig, she says, when I came to you, I was fine. Right. And so you think, what could it possibly be? But we all tell them the same thing. That's the funny thing. We all do the same thing. What's the first thing you do when a patient comes in and tells you that? What, or she calls you on the phone and tells you that? What? Wait. You give her this baloney. Mrs. Jones, every time we cut on a tooth, it kicks up the nerve. I mean, that's true, right? It'll go away. She calls you a week later again. Now it's 2 weeks later. She calls you up, says, hey, doc, it hurts. What do? We all do the same thing. Come on in. We check the occlusion. We do a little occlusal adjustment. There's not even an opposing tooth up there, okay? But we're doing something, right? We feel good. She'll feel good. We're doing something. She calls you a week later again. It still hurts. Well, we may have to take it out. You might need a root canal. A root canal. If I would have known that and you stink and all that stuff, we always love to blame the composite resins or the etching or the bonding. A dull carbide burr creates a tremendous amount of what? Heat. And that's where that will kick this up. And it directly relates to patient satisfaction. And what's the other thing a dull burr creates? A lot of stress on your what? Hands. Do not forget the hand pieces. I can replace the hand pieces. I can't replace these babies, okay, on your hands. Your hands are your life. Dentists in this room, how does a new carbide burr feel when you use one every 2.5 years? How? How does it feel? It feels good, right? It feels good. I use a new carbide burr on every single patient, and I throw it away.